the wild, survival is a brutal test of skill and knowledge. The Vikings, masters of the untamed land, thrived in some of the harshest conditions using techniques lost to time. Today's mission: survive like a Viking. We will uncover their best survival methods passed down through centuries that kept them alive in the wild. Stick to the end to witness one of their most shocking survival techniques: starting fire with urine. No shelter, no modern tools, just my axe, my knife, and 4 essential skills to survive as a Viking. As a survival expert with over 10 years of experience surviving the harshest places on our planet, will I make it as the Vikings did? Let's find out! To survive like a Viking, I need to master 4 essential skills. I call it the Ilko method. I stands for ignition, tools and materials, a flint and steel as the Vikings had, or a ferrocerium rod, or a stormproof lighter. L stands for liquids container. In this case, we will attempt to make our own liquids container to boil and purify water, same as the Vikings had. Or in general, you should have a metal bottle to purify and to boil water in the wild. K stands for a reliable survival knife, which is high carbon steel, which is great for cutting, carving, cooking and protection. And O stands for overhead shelter. In this case, we will create our own Vikings shelter. The question is, will I be able to collect the correct Vikings materials with which we could start fire even in the upcoming rain before the light fades? Let's start with the first challenge, collecting fire starting materials, the same as the Vikings did. Birch bark has been used for hundreds of years by the Vikings and many other peoples, of course, and it is extremely versatile and a great resource in nature. You can start great and easy fires in wet conditions with it. You can make water containers with it, obviously with much bigger pieces. People in the North America as well also make canoes from it. But for our purposes, we will just collect enough to start fires in wet weather, and I will attempt to make a water container in which to boil water as the Vikings did. We found exactly what we needed for the biggest and the final test of our mission, which is basically to find a horseshoe fungus, which is similar to this one, and to attempt to create an easy fire starter in any conditions, wet or cold or freezing, with fungus and urine, which will be later on. The Vikings often used natural remedies, and pine needle tea was one that they use very often. It's really good in moderate quantities. Also, make sure you're using the correct pine needles and nothing poisonous, depending on your area where you live. But I'm planning to make some really good full of vitamin C pine needles tea later on today. With the important materials in hand, I now face a long and arduous trek back to my camp. The silver birch trees and horsehoof fungus were scarce, forcing me to venture far out from my chosen base. Can I make it back in time? As autumn sets in, the daylight fades faster and the shadows grow longer. Can I start a fire, build shelter and boil water with the little light that remains? My survival depends on it. Will Viking wisdom and my skills be enough, or will the wilderness claim victory over me? Fire was life for the Vikings, and without it I won't last the night. But with the threat of rain and daylight fading fast, can I make it in time? My next mission is to start the shelter and potentially start preparing some stones so I can heat them and boil water with an improvised container. The goal is to make the birch bark pliable by heating it up and peeling off some of the thicker layers so that we can form a container. And I only have 2 tries, so I will attempt to do it and we'll see. But we first need to warm the birch bark a bit more. the birch bark container, as I'm doing, has a leak. We're gonna attempt to glue it with my pitch pine glue, the same way that the Vikings used to do. I don't have much hopes for actually being able to boil water in it, but I will at least attempt to repair it. This is my result. I have plenty of leaks still. I know where my mistakes are. For now, I can at least drink water. Boiling water with hot stones in a birch bark container, as the Vikings did, was unsuccessful today. And this camp is running dry, no food, no suitable fire tinder. Staying here more than one night isn't an option for me. The Vikings had to work fast, and now I'm feeling the same pressure. Before I can even think about making the urine soaked horseshoe fungus tinder, I need a stable tripod. This all eats into the time I have left, and boiling and drying the fungus will take a long time, especially in this wet weather. Time is slipping away, and I'm racing against the setting sun. The pressure's on, and every minute counts. Are against me, and without shelter, I'm exposed. Can I finish this in time, or will the night catch me off guard? It's not super strong rain, but it's dripping, and I'm sure it's gonna pour later on today. So some pine needle tea is a welcome addition to my campfire. I really need to hurry up, and so I'm improvising a very quick shelter just so I can hide from the elements tonight, because time is really running out. I'm not even sure if I can manage to make it completely waterproof, and will I stay dry tonight? This is the question. Cheers. And so, moving camp by tomorrow, I will need to prepare the way the Vikings did, horseshoe fungus with urine. I prepared in this thing my own urine, and so I'm gonna dip it, and it will boil for a few hours. It will be extremely unpleasant. The smell of ammonia will probably stench up the whole area, but this is what the Vikings did, and this is what we will do here. The urine method is strange and, let's be honest, it's far from pleasant. But in the most brutal conditions, the Vikings used it to survive. Can this technique be reliable enough for tomorrow's camp move? Or will I be wasting precious time with no result when I need it most? We are about to find out. I'm trying the horsehoof fungus soaked and boiled in my own urine, then dried by the fire, to see if this ancient technique can actually catch a spark quickly and easily. I've never attempted this before, and truthfully, I don't know if it's going to work. Everything I've worked towards leads to this moment. This is the real test and my mission. With the time running out, I have not been able to dry the horsehoof fungus fully, and it is refusing to catch an ember despite trying many times. Yes, this was a complete failure today, but I do still need a fire as I let my other one die. In desperation, I have made a thin slice from some of the dried horsehoof fungus not soaked in urine and resorted to using my ferrocerium rod and my knife to get the fire going again. I have broken the rules of my mission, but will this work, or will I stay in the cold and dark tonight? As you can see, surviving as a Viking isn't easy at all. But I haven't shown you everything yet. In this video here, I show you even bigger and better ancient survival techniques. Watch me as my skills are pushed to the limit. Will I succeed in this mission? Click and find out.